Hogwarts Legacy is already an extremely successful game. Over 12 million copies have already been sold, and people who have finished it are already dying for a sequel or additional content, and things are looking pretty bad for the haters of the game because reportedly, an HBO Max series based on the game is already in development. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, I have had to talk a lot about Hogwarts Legacy on the channel, because of course the boycott attempts and just the general outrage about this video game, and I have also talked about how successful it already is, but it looks like the haters are going to be a little more angry because a Hogwarts Legacy TV show is reportedly in development at HBO Max. So that is according to sources cited by Giant Freaking Robot, an entertainment news site with some track record of exclusive reporting. Now, it is important to point out this is just a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but we have heard that Warner Brothers Discovery has been trying to find ways to basically rejuvenate the Wizarding World. They have wanted to make some series for HBO Max, and we've heard that for about a year at this point, so it really wouldn't be surprising that they would see the success of this game and go, you know what, let's try to make it into a series, even if it's only a limited series. I'm sure that there's plenty they could do here. It says it claims the series is still in the early phases of development, but that, like Warner's recently released Hogwarts Legacy game, it will presumably be set before the original novels and the Fantastic Beasts spin-off. They love monetizing the Wizarding World because, of course, people love this IP, and of course, there is outrage because of J.K. Rowling and the fact that she created these characters and this world, but it doesn't really matter to them because ultimately it just means that they're making money. They want to see successful series, and this game is massively popular already. I have talked about this, but Hogwarts Legacy has sold 12 million copies in only 2 weeks and earned $850 million so far. There were tons of journalists and activists on social media telling people to boycott this title, and we knew that it wasn't going to work. There are millions of people who love the Wizarding World and have nostalgia for it and just want to enjoy their time in a video game. I played the game, I absolutely loved it. I thought that it was pretty freaking fantastic, and it was exactly what I was hoping for from a video game based around this IP. And, well, clearly other people were very excited and have loved it as well. And this is only in 2 weeks, never mind in half a year. When the game has been out for a while, lots of people who were debating on purchasing it full price have now purchased it when it's $30 or $40. But going back to the talk about the TV series, I think that this could be really good. There's a lot that they could do. They could go with the Goblin Rebellion storyline. They could just simply go for maybe some of the characters that are in this, maybe some of the versions of like Ollivander that we see. They could also just set it in the same general time period, maybe have some of the professors be the same. I'd love to see more Professor Garlick personally, but there's just a lot that they could do, and now that they're seeing the success, they're going, you know what, let's try it. At least according to this rumor. But, yeah, the boycott, it has completely failed, and I wanted to reference this article by Bounding into Comics. In less than 2 weeks, Hogwarts Legacy made just as much as Black Panther Wakanda Forever's entire theatrical run. I have talked about it many times on the channel, but Hollywood and video streaming revenue is nothing compared to the video game industry revenue. As you can see, video streaming service revenue of 2022 was estimated to be around $50 billion, and Hollywood's revenue was around $6 billion, which of course is quite a lot of money. I'm not saying that, almost 60 billion isn't anything, but look at the video games market. In 2020, okay, it was 179 billion, and it was predicted to be nearly 200 billion in 2022, and we haven't still gotten all of the numbers for 2022, but one would assume it's right around that $200 billion mark, so it is more than double what streaming and Hollywood both bring in. Now, heading back to this article talking about how successful Hogwarts Legacy has been so far, it says that it has sold 12 million copies and drove 850 million in revenue across its first 2 weeks on sale, Warner Brothers Games has announced. This makes it the biggest launch ever for Warner Brothers Games, despite controversy surrounding the author J.K. Rowling. For comparison, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 earned $1 billion in retail sales over its first 10 days, and these are for the top percentages of games. Most games don't earn $1 billion in retail sales over 10 days or 850 million in revenue in its first 2 weeks. These are only the most successful video games and franchises, and Hogwarts Legacy is now up there. It has even actually outpaced Elden Ring, which is not very surprising, seeing as the Wizarding World has millions of fans worldwide, but still a very good comparison. It says, additionally, Warner Brothers Games has confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy set a record for Twitch, reaching 1.28 million peak concurrent viewers at launch. This was the most in Twitch's history for a single-player game, and Warner Brothers said Hogwarts Legacy players have collectively logged 280 million hours in the game so far, and it's not even out on every platform so far. It still has to release on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One in April, and then the Nintendo Switch version is coming out in July or August. So this game is already considered a mega hit, which is great to see. I was hoping that this game was going to succeed, and I was hoping that it was just going to be a good title. Sometimes we get extremely excited for games and they end up being pretty disappointing, but that was not one of these times, which I am so happy about. I ended up putting about 30 hours into my playthrough that I did live stream. I had a blast with it. It is genuinely going to be in the running for Game of the Year for me personally. I do think that there are a couple of serious contenders, of course, like Final Fantasy 16, Diablo 4. If Starfield comes out, that could be a very solid contender. Also, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is going to be some serious competition for it, but I do think that this is going to be in the top 5 games of the year released, and I think that the journalists who refused to cover this game because of the, failed boycott and the fact that they were salty that their boycott failed are going to look pretty freaking pathetic by the end of the year. We'll have to see if they also ignore Hogwarts Legacy come Game of the Year time, but as you can see, Hogwarts Legacy has sold 12 million copies in 2 weeks, and a TV series is reportedly in development at HBO Max. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.